and welcome to Equity News on EquityAxis. Thank you for joining us as we come to you live from our Hampton studios in the capital. I am Rumbedzai Goredema. The Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce today held an annual business review seminar which was attended by various stakeholders in the economy. Speaking at the event, the ZNCC president, Mr. Macheka, called for cooperation between government and the private sector towards rebuilding the Zimbabwean economy. The Minister of Finance in his presentation highlighted the negative GDP position the country had in 2019 and indicated that a positive GDP is expected in 2020. With agriculture as the base of the economy, he said government has set aside $400 million Zimbabwean dollars towards agriculture. Let's listen in.
Now, I think it's been highlighted already that we've done very well, I think, in terms of improving our environment for doing business, in terms of positioning from 155 to 140. We took a decision 2 weeks ago from His Excellency that we target 16 areas that we'll work on in the next 12 months to improve further our rankings for the environment for doing business. And the ZIDA bill, as I said, went through Senate yesterday at 7 p.m. I was there. We had to make sure it goes through, and then what's really left is for His Excellency, once he's happy, to sign off and do the usual, and then it's promulgated in full. Now, I'll come back to the shocks in a minute. If you look at these shocks that hit the economy, you had as I said, the cyclone, we had the drought, and then we had the macro fiscal consolidation as part of that. Now, this impacted agriculture directly. It impacted industry indirectly through the power outages, but also through the backward linkages effect with agriculture. It impacted mining output. So our prognosis then for economic growth for the year is negative. We're still stuck on that figure of minus 6.5% of GDP, when initially we started with a positive outlook of plus 3% of GDP. So there's then need for a step change in the direction of productivity, job creation, and stimulating growth. It's negative, we want to move it up. I must say that in thinking through this, we have some assumptions. We have to assume something. We have to assume that the season will be better next year in 2020 than this year. I don't know what your verdict is so far.
Bindura Nickel Corporation recorded a 136% profit and total comprehensive income increase in the half year ended 30 September 2019. Profit for the period under review stood at $6.6 million from $2.8 million in the same period last year. This was attributed to exchange gains and a decrease in the cost of sales, which in turn was attributable to the ongoing efforts to contain costs, as demonstrated by the decrease in cash costs year on year. The company also saw an 8% increase in revenue from $26.2 million to $28.3 million in the period. However, the company is struggling because of the current 50% foreign currency retention threshold that assumed that all costs were to be paid in local currency, but they are now paying in foreign currency. They need a forex retention threshold that is not less than 80% to remain viable. This was said in an interview with the company's managing director, Batirai Manando, at the company's analyst briefing. Let's have a look.
Because the model which we arrived at with the authorities to get to 50% assumed that we'll pay for power in local currency, we'll pay for labor in local currency, we'll pay for a whole other cost in terms of even our taxes and what in local currency. But that has changed because power we are now paying in forex. Also, as a skills retention measure, we have to pay part of our salaries for the employees in forex. So clearly the 50% retention is not adequate, and we are continuing to lobby the government to to revise that figure upwards. And in our calculations, we need not less than 80% retention for us to continue to run the operations well.
Finance Minister Professor Mtuli said the new grain subsidy model will see a 10 kg bag of maize meal selling for 50 Zimbabwean dollars. Prices had gone up to 101 Zimbabwean dollars per 10 kg after government had announced the scrapping of subsidies on grain. The president, however, announced a reversal of the move and a reintroduction of the subsidies in order to cater for the vulnerable groups. Under the new model, government will now buy grain from farmers at market price and selling the same to maize millers to ensure affordability and availability of the commodity. Government has thanked all the countries that supported Zimbabwe in response to Cyclone Idai. This includes those that supported through international organizations or civil society. The government also appreciated those that responded to the global appeal for drought relief. The country is facing food insecurity with over 7 million people facing food shortages according to the latest UN report. Let's listen as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sibusiso Moyo, speaks.
Let me once again thank all of you and through you, your governments, for the much appreciated support and assistance provided directly to government or via international organizations or civil society formations in response to the devastation caused by Cyclone Idai and subsequently in response to the global appeal issued as the scale of the current drought and its impact upon national food security became fully apparent. We are truly grateful for this support, which together with government's own efforts has certainly helped those impacted by Idai and will serve to mitigate against the dire effects of the worst drought in decades we have ever experienced. Let me also recognize and appreciate the efforts of civil society in this regard and to again encourage them and indeed the governments and international institutions which even finance them so that they can focus on the positive activities and the core activities on providing support and assistance to the poor and the vulnerable, and to desist from obviously trespassing into the complicated realm of certain political areas. Seeking to pit the people of the country against their own government is hardly, not necessarily, any diplomatic role. And we look forward that your great cooperation in this regard is always going to be appreciated.
In our final story, National Foods has invested 156.6 million towards contract farming for the 2019-2020 summer cropping season in a bid to ensure food security and productivity in farms. The scheme comes at a time when farmers are increasingly turning to contract farming and joint ventures to beat the high cost of inputs and tillage. The investment will fund the production of around 9,000 hectares of maize, potato, popcorn, sugar bean, and soybeans. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and visit our website www.EquityAxis.net. From the EquityAxis team and I, good night.
climbing to the top takes more than just hard work and smart choices. It's the passion that drives you from within, the endurance to keep going through difficult times, and having a very clear vision of how to succeed. That's what we strive for at CBZ. We're a diversified and innovative listed financial services group in Zimbabwe with a complete range of activities including banking, short and long-term insurance, asset management, and property investments. CBZ has been a pinnacle for stability in the economic landscape of Zimbabwe, stemming from our deep-rooted values, our excellent customer service delivery, and our corporate vision to strive for excellence as a global competitor. Our continuous investment in research and development will cement our promise to provide customer convenience utilizing state-of-the-art technology. Relationships are at the core of what we do. We understand, however, that strong, long-lasting partnerships are not built overnight. With over 3 decades of wealth management, we have come to understand our clients and their specific investment requirements. Our unique mix of skills ensures that investment opportunities are examined from all perspectives. The balancing rocks of Zimbabwe have weathered the elements for thousands of years and stood the test of time, like majestic reminders of the fine balance of nature. They challenge our perception of what is possible and what endures. Just as CBZ has weathered the economic storms and remained steadfast throughout the turbulence of unsettled economies. Achieving the impossible through resilience and stability, we balance the elements of hard work, dedication, and experience, making us your ideal partner for success.